Garage doors, that's what we do here at Precision.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Local 3 is looking for a cutting-edge commercial producer who excels at writing, planning, shooting, and editing commercials. If you're passionate about helping Local 3 clients succeed, send your resume and work to Kelly Starnes at cstarnes@local3news.com.
Okay, the summertime days are kind of ticking away, so we're going to put something on your to-do list before the sun sets on the summer fun, because we have come back up to the Cookie Jar Cafe talking with Sue Ann Lockhart. This time, not so much about the sweet tooth, but about the savory tooth. So thanks for letting us come back.
Absolutely. We're so glad to have you.
So glad to be back up here. So, you know, we all know that the cakes and pies and desserts that you make, many of them, if not all, are family recipes.
They are, yes.
Is the same true for your food?
Yes, it is. And one little tidbit that I like to share that not a lot of people know is we have 0 food waste, like the absolute bare minimum food waste in a restaurant. So
how do you manage that?
we reuse the baked potatoes that weren't sold in our potato salad. We use the cornbread in our cornbread dressing. The rolls we chop up and put in our chicken casserole. We literally have no food waste.
I love that. So home cooking, truly.
Yes, and it all goes back to my old Southern grandmother who used to save every single little thing, even rinsing out Ziploc baggies and letting them dry. So.
I have lived that life, which is why I said home cooking
Yes,
at its
100%.
best. Yeah. So let's talk about what you're known for. Meatloaf is
Yes.
the top seller.
Grilled meatloaf is our number
And that's
one
what you
seller.
have.
That's what's right here. Yes, absolutely.
Grilled meatloaf.
Grilled meatloaf, yes. And it wasn't even an original item on our menu. We had meatloaf, but we did it the normal way in the loaf, and we were just slicing it up and serving it. But back to the no food waste. We had it left over, and we really didn't know what to do. We didn't want to stick it in a microwave every time somebody wanted it.
Right.
So my sister was like, let's warm it up on the grill and see how it tastes. And we loved it. And so that's the only way we do it now. We shape it and bake it and freeze it and get it ready to go and warm it back up on the grill.
So I have the window view, and I'm looking over Sue Ann's shoulder, and there's a couple coming in from the parking lot. They're smiling already.
Already.
As
Most
they're about
people-
to come into your door.
Yes, they're so excited to be here, and everyone has been so thankful that we're reopened, and so are we.
Most people, when you come to a restaurant, we've caught you early, so there's not a big crowd yet. When you typically come, 120 people can be seated here at the Cookie Jar, and you don't take reservations.
We do take reservations, yes, but they have to be made 24 hours in advance. So we don't take reservations the day of.
Okay.
But you can make a reservation if you know you're coming ahead of time. But if you have to wait, it's really not that bad. You've got a nice porch to sit on, and you can always grab you a drink and an appetizer and have a seat under the pavilion.
Well, I think that's almost the plan to make if you're going to come here, is give yourself that opportunity to linger as long as you can, because the view is really something. And back to the family component here, even the land that we're on is your family's land.
It is. It's been in my family for almost 200 years now. So we are a century farm. We still have the only operational dairy farm in about a 50-mile radius. So
you are seeing people come from all over the world.
Yes.
Dunlap has really put itself on the map. COVID changed things for everybody.
Everybody, yes.
So this is destination dining.
100%. Yes. Dunlap we worked really hard. I worked very close with the chamber, and we worked very hard through COVID, and we came out on top. Everybody in the Valley did. It was truly amazing.
You know, she's referenced things about when we reopened this and in the past this. I'm sure you know by now that the Cookie Jar did have a fire. This summer will mark a year.
Yes.
June 25th is the 1-year anniversary. You stepped out in faith to open it back up again, and the community went in lockstep with you.
Yes, they did.
But you did put some new spin on some things a little bit, but the fan favorites are back.
Fan favorites are here, and they're here to stay. We added a few appetizers in that people really like to enjoy, and a few different cuts of steak. But besides that, everything else is the same.
So what have you given me?
You have our pork roast, which we only have on Wednesdays, and it's so juicy and tender because we cook it all night. So we put it in as a completely frozen roast, and it slow cooks on 325 degrees until the next morning.
Because it's got a little bit of brown on it.
Yes.
Just the right
Just
way.
the right way.
So it's going to be totally savory, isn't it?
It is going to be savory.
Just the natural
yes.
flavors come
Yes.
out, or do you have a lot of
We
seasoning
put some
on
seasoning.
it?
We make a house seasoning here that If we don't put our house seasoning on it, we put sugar on it. And that's basically the way we cook.
Well, cheers to that
Yes,
philosophy.
ma'am. Yeah.
It's like Sunday afternoon
It
every
is.
time you come here.
It is, yes. And we always tell everybody it's a little slower on this side of the mountain, even the time. So just be prepared to just slow down and enjoy your stay.
I'm so glad you said that because don't forget that Dunlap is on Central Time.
We are. And it really surprises me the amount of people that don't know that there is a time zone change on the Hamilton County border. But
Well,
there is.
It is there, so you will slow down. I mentioned it feels like a Sunday afternoon. You cannot come here on a Sunday afternoon.
You cannot. We are closed on Sundays and Mondays. My staff only works 5 days a week because everybody needs a couple days off.
So, you know how if you go to some restaurants, they'll pair your wine with your meal? Mm-hmm. Do you pair dessert with a meal if somebody wants a recommendation?
I don't, but that's a very good idea. It's really just what you like. We do have top sellers. Our top seller is our coconut pie, but our chocolate cream pie is probably a close second. But right now, I would say the cakes are taking the win.
Well, I can understand why, but you don't have breakfast.
Right.
And
No.
come here. Are you lunch and dinner?
Lunch and dinner, we're open from 10:30 until 8 o'clock Central Time.
Central Time. Put it on your summer to-do list, and then when summer's over, put it on your fall must-do list.
Yes, the view here in the fall is absolutely amazing.
And by the way, they're out of town the week of July 4th.
We are. We're going to be closed the week of the 4th.
Here's to you.
Cheers.
Didn't even mention the sweet tea. We have so much to talk about. We'll keep sitting at the table. You make a plan to come up here to the Cookie Jar Cafe.
Car wrecks. They're more than just shattered glass and